Hey y'all, I'm excited that you joined me today because we're going to do something that's so fun, a dish called grits and greens. And basically, you make your grits and then you cook down your greens. And I'll show you the starting of both of those. So I have some greens, actually they came from Charlene's garden, and I'm just going to cook them down in some bacon grease. And I'll put them on low because they can cook the whole time that the grits are cooking. And I've got some chicken broth back here. 3 cups of chicken broth, and I'm going to add to it 1 cup of cream. And that is to cook the grits in. Now, cooking these grits for this recipe does do it a little bit differently, and I think it's just so it'll be absolutely full of flavor. So, let me stir my greens. Now, typically I would cook greens down for a long time, like probably a couple of hours at least. But for this dish, I think they want it to still have a little bit of a bite. And so we're just going to cook it the same amount of time that we're going to cook our grits. And I'm not going to cook, like I usually have a bowl or full of greens because they're so plentiful. But this is going to be just a handful that we got out of Charlene's garden. So here is my 3 cups of chicken broth. I was hoping that you could see it. Yeah, 3 cups of chicken broth, and I added 1 cup of cream. There you go. And I'm going to bring it to a boil. I also added a little bit of onion in here. I'm going to add a little bit of Dana Dash too, whenever it cooks down a little bit, to give it lots and lots of flavor. So here is our liquid for the grits. Now, I'm using stone ground grits because they're just so good. And they're easy to get. They have them at the grocery store. And so that's what I'm going to use. The difference is they take about 30 minutes to cook. But that's fine because this is going to take a little while to cook. This takes about 20. So as soon as I can add my grits in, as soon as I bring this to a boil and I add in my grits, then it won't be very much time difference at all. And so, anyway, I just thought this would be such a fun recipe, such a great recipe for lunch or brunch if you're having company. I can't wait to make it for my little nephew and his family when they come at Christmas time. So, anyway, this is taking a minute to boil, but you do want it to come to a good simmer because the grits take about 30 minutes to cook, like I said. So anyway, it's going to be a fun recipe today. And I'm going to make some hot water cornbread. I'll probably do that in a separate video because this one's going to be a little lengthy, as it is. And I try not to do them too long so y'all can watch them and get the recipe and then just go cook it. So while it's coming to a boil, let me say to everybody, thank you for following me and subscribing to us on YouTube. We surely appreciate it. We love y'all and just appreciate everything that you have done for us and been to us. And anyway, you're a blessing, and we appreciate it. So here we go. I love this. I love the name of this too, Grits and Greens. Isn't that fun? Sounds so Southern, and I just love it. And it would be something that my grandmother would have cooked for sure. So I also like that part about it. So here is this liquid, and it's coming to a nice simmer. You can kind of hear it boiling. And so anyway, I'm trying to get my hair out of my eyes. I know it bothers everybody. It bothers me too. But anyway, it is what it is right now. So I'm going to stir these greens a little bit. You can see they're cooking down nicely. And they are going to be so good. I tell you what, I've been cooking these from Charlene's garden since she's been growing them. And it is so good. It's like having fresh tomatoes are so good. I mean, the difference in taste is just amazing. So anyway, this is coming to a boil. Let me show y'all. Coming to a nice simmer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the grits, stir them in. Actually, you really stir. Oh my gosh, y'all, the greens smell so good cooking. It's and you can see it's really coming to a boil now. So what you want to do is turn it down to a simmer. So you need to make sure that it came to a boil. It did. You heard it and saw it. And then I added in the grits, and I stirred them in. I'm going to whisk it up too. And then they're going to take 30 minutes to cook. So about every 10 minutes I'll stir them. And then we'll have our grits and greens, y'all. I'll show you in just a little bit. Okay, y'all, so here are our grits and greens. The grits are cooked. As you can see, they are just beautiful. These are yellow grits, and I did switch over to cook them, to stir them like this, because it'll just make sure that you don't have any lumps in your grits, and that does happen. So I'm going to melt the butter in, and I tasted them. And, you know, this called for 3 cups of chicken broth and then 1 cup of heavy cream, half and half, whole milk, whatever you want to use. But the chicken broth really does flavor the grits a lot. But I think it's great for this recipe because you need it to taste, you know, it's a breakfast dish, but honestly, tasting it right now, I could very easily see this being served at dinner. Okay, so here are our beautiful grits. I'm going to get a spoonful of them. Oh, you know what? Not sure if I mentioned that, but before you cook your grits, always salt them with a good amount of salt, a teaspoon, half teaspoon to a teaspoon for sure. Then I'm going to add some Dana Dash for some flavor. If you don't salt your grits or the water before you cook them, it's really difficult for them to get the amount of salt that they need to taste really yummy. So, salt your grits, y'all. So here are our grits. We'll put them in our bowl. A nice serving. And, you know, these are just perfect because they are nice and creamy. I won't do a whole big bowl, but I'll just do this much. And then we've got our greens. Whoops. We're going to put those in. Look how pretty, y'all. This looks so pretty, doesn't it? And then we've got our bacon, and we're going to top it with bacon. Now, I used bacon grease to cook the greens in. There you go. But if you have ham, really country ham would be delicious. But if you have ham and you'd rather that, be sure to use that because it'll be just fine. Okay, it's a little hot. You know, when grits are hot, they are hot. But I want to taste it and show y'all just how yummy it can be. Now, if you don't want to put your greens in with your grits or on top of your grits, just serve them to the side. But I would do it really nicely to make sure that people realize that it's a combination dish. It's not just grits and then a bowl of greens. It's grits and greens. Okay. Y'all, this is so good. So good. My goodness. Yummy. 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 I think you're just going to love it. Grits and greens, y'all, from Miss Dana's Kitchen. Bon appetit.